We all have blindness in our lives. Welcome to today's show. I'm so excited that you're here with us on December 23rd. This is a great show, a great day. We've got so much to talk about with our good friend, the interviewee that's coming on today. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you about what's going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and we're going to have another show where it's just going to be me, and I'm going to be talking about what's going on with me, because a lot of you don't know all that. So it would be helpful for you to understand the process that I've gone through and how I've been able to go from blindness to sight to vision again. It's been phenomenal in order to be able to work with you, to help you all, in order for you to be able to see the good spirits that you have and the goodness that you all have within you in order to have a more successful and more happy life. So without any further ado, and so tomorrow we're going to talk about that. So in the coming weeks, or actually next week, I'll talk about the different members or the different interviewees that are coming on at the end of this show. But without any further ado, I want to bring on today's guest, and that is none other than Dave Caperton.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm coming to you from my nice place here, and obviously, and my ski lodge. I've got.
I had no idea you could pull off a ski lodge trip.
I tell you what, I love green screen and this virtual thing because now I don't have to clean up anything. I just throw the green screen up there and whatever reality I want to create. You know what? I was in one of these shows that they had for like home remodeling and all this stuff, and they had a really interesting exhibit where they said, we want to show you what your new your kitchen remodel would look like, and different projects you want to do around the home. And they handed me these virtual reality goggles. And they said, so what we can do is we can take all the measurements and, we come out and photograph. And he said, and then you put these on and you can actually walk around and see this improved, updated kitchen and bath and, all the things that you want to have done. Live it now, walk through it. And I was
in your home.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to put it on. I'm looking around like this. And they said, so you want us to come in for an estimate? And I said, no, but I would like for you to, I'll need enough of these for all the guests that come over. And then I can skip all that.
Right. It's got to be cheaper.
Broken down house, slip these on and enjoy the ambiance.
Oh, well, that's funny. That's a good idea, though. I like it. So we got some people on here with us. So we're going to say good morning to them. Eric, bam. Good morning, Eric. How are you this morning? Oh, and yes, he mentions that there is only one eye in Christmas.
Absolutely right.
And then Mark is on as well. Good morning. Good morning. So live from Ohio. Yeah, it's good to see you. So, and anybody else that's joining, please put in a hashtag live and where you're coming in from. See, I said it right this time. I didn't say dialing in. Coming in from. Hashtag live, where you're coming in from. If you're listening to this on replay, put in a hashtag replay, where you're coming in from. And as always, in your timeline, put in the hashtag Brian with one eye and take a picture of yourself winking. So if you would do that, you're going to be entered into a raffle to win a free copy of my book, a signed copy of my book. And the book is called Sometimes It Does Take a Brain Surgeon. But if you would do that, tag me on it, tag me on the picture, and that'll have you entered into the raffle. So, Dave, where were you? You were saying, we got some other people that have joined here. So let's say hello, say good morning to Ted.
Ted's here. Ted's in the house.
Ted is in the house. Randall. Yes. Our old friend Randall. What a great guy. Woodstock, Illinois. Cool.
Wow.
Good. Thank you.
That audience, Brian. Growing that audience, baby.
It's good. It's all good. So tell me, Dave, what have you got going on for Christmas?
Well, we're gonna like everybody else. We're gonna be doing Christmas in a little differently this year. We've done all of our shopping online. We've done the visiting virtually like this. We're getting together remotely, and so it's not going to be the getting to hug people and see family and friends up close and personal. But you know what? It's okay. I think we're counting our blessings, and it's all good. We're having a great time, and we're just going to enjoy the joy of the season, and because that's what we talk about this time of year, right? We're on a joy. Well, that's really as a speaker and author, that's my wheelhouse, man. That's what I have chosen as the focus of all I do. It's all about chosen joy. And so what I do is, for the last 20 plus years, I've worked with organizations and business and education and healthcare, doing keynotes and training, all about how do we choose joy and why is that a good idea? And that it's not just something that helps us personally, but it's something that can make us successful in ways that, we think about success, and people when we talk about success, we tend to think of it in materialistic terms, and certainly for-profit businesses, they say, look, nothing works unless we're profitable. But I think we have to kind of change up how we think about what success is and how we achieve it. And so what I try to present to them is joy is a vehicle for success. And if our goal is to create joy in our customers, to create joy among the people who work here, connectedness, and we really bring joy to the process, success becomes the inevitable byproduct of doing the right things for the right reason. And that's really as simple as it is. So it just starts with, the perceptions that we have some control over. It starts with being able to do certain things as a habit, like practicing gratitude, which you're such an example of, focusing on our blessings and what we have instead of complaining and worrying and thinking about what we don't, and comparing ourselves to those who maybe have more of one thing than we do, and realizing, we all have this purpose. And so that's really what this time of year is a great time to talk about it, because the other 364 days of the year, that's the message that, I'm privileged enough to get to present to the organizations I work with. It's your choice. You can choose joy if you do the right things as a habit, So, that's what it's all about.
Isn't it a great job that we have to be able to go out to different organizations and, talk to them about how to be happy? I mean, how easy is that? You would think it's easy.
It is a privilege. I mean, just to be able to, and the privilege in it is being able to talk about something you truly do believe in, and something that you really do believe, that you're passionate about, because you say, look, I know this works for me, and I know it can help others. I mean, what your blind spots that wouldn't even be possible. There's a message that probably never would have occurred to you had you not gone through what you did. No. And because you have had these challenges, Brian, you've got a perspective on it that gives you absolute both credibility and authority to talk about blind spots in other people. And they can accept that from you. That what you have dealt with physically is all the credentials you need to present to the organizations that you work with to say, look, we know just by his story, he absolutely knows what he's talking about. So, you have the privilege of being able to say, look, I'm going through this, but it's got a purpose. And, when we think about joy, when we think about what it takes to be, happy, it really comes down to very few elements. And those things are, something to believe in that's bigger than you. It's the reason why faith is so important, or being part of something that you really are passionate about, something to look forward to. We all need that hope and something to say, look, one day where I'm headed, I've got some aspiration that this is going to touch people and reach a larger audience, and it's going to do these things. And finally, the third part of that is somebody to care about. And those are the three elements of joy or happiness, is something to believe in, something, someone to care about, and to look forward to. And it just gets to be that simple. But then getting there is a matter of all kinds of little choices that we make. You know? And naturally, there are things that get in the way, right? So the struggles that you're going through, and I'm going through, and we're all going through in this pandemic, it challenges that, because there are times you think, do I have something to look forward to? And there are times that you think, do I believe really in the things that I've has been my core? I mean, you question those things. Those things, there's obstacles in your path, and how you get around them or under them or over them. And, that's the journey. That's the hard part.
So how have you been able to do what you do and focus on those three things? I love those three things: faith, something to care about, and then something to look forward to. How have you managed to do those three things? And we've got some other people that have come on here. So Ted is business succeeds based on believing in what you do and what you bring to your customers. If you can show you really believe in your organization and what you do for others, then you can have a key skill to succeed in business. Very true. And he agrees with your other comment there. And then our old friend Wes White is on. Dave is back. Yes, time really flies.
I don't know that that's a compliment. I'm not really sure. Oh, Dave is back. Are we in reruns already?
It's a syndicated show.
No, nobody else. We've obviously exhausted the list of potential guests.
It's a very shallow well.
Oh.
It's all right. It's all right. At least he's been around enough to know that you've been here before.
That's true. Hey, absolutely. I changed my shirt just for you.
Yeah, and I put on my Christmas sweater for you.
In my house.
Yes, you painted.
I did. I touched up. It's amazing what a coat of paint will do. That a 20-foot stone chimney. So,
yeah. I mean, how'd you do that overnight?
You know what? The pandemic has given me a lot of time on my hands. So I was like, let's just dive in, make a few changes.
Why not? It looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So are you all set then for Christmas now? Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. You all set?
Oh, yeah. So my gift card came in the mail yesterday.
Oh.
I haven't driven in the last 6-7 weeks since I had all this happen to me again. So I'm not driven at all.
Right.
I might have driven to the donut shop once, but that was just
that was the one thing you couldn't.
I really need a donut.
I'm gonna go get a cruller, man. I gotta get a jelly filled.
It's a half mile away, so I felt okay with going out. But other than that, I have not driven. My kids and my wife, they've all driven me around. So, I don't go out usually unless they go out. I've not shopped for anything. I've just shopped online. Connie, she shopped for everything online as well. Now, she shopped earlier than I did.
Now, did you have a wish of, here's what I want for Christmas, or did you just kind of like, hey, I'm good?
They made me make up a list that I had to put in Google Docs. So I put a nice shirt and I don't know what else I put. So, bourbon glass. So, I don't drink that much bourbon, but yeah, something to say.
Maybe until now you didn't have a glass. So that's about to change. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah. That's
but
neat.
yeah, I mean, the stuff that I put on my list, I mean, I think anybody could have put, but yeah. So it is what it is. It's that saying is classic. Yeah. But anyway,
the list helps. The list,
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody has not completed their shopping, I do have a tip for you that I just from my own personal experience, and that is there are certain gifts you should never give unless they are specifically on a list that the person has given you. For example, never give someone a personal hair trimmer unless they have expressed a unique desire, very personal, that's what they really want. Because for ears and nose hair, you hand them that and they're going to go, oh, well, thank you very much.
It's like asking somebody if they want a breath mint.
Right. Thanks for noticing I needed that. Years ago, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, Brian, but in the 1980s, late 80s, there was a series of videos that came out. And the first one that came out was an exercise video called Buns of Steel. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that Suzanne Summers?
No, she did the Thigh Master.
Oh.
I watch a lot of late night infomercials.
Wow. We're learning a lot about you, Dave.
This guy in a leotard and a headband. And they, on the front of it was a close-up of what was considered, steely buns. And then, it was a workout for your glutes. And it was a hot item. I mean, and my wife and I had just gotten married like the year before, and her little sister got me that for Christmas. And I was like, well, I didn't even know I needed this. But then I'm not very limber, so I didn't see, And I'm looking at this. I don't know. I mean, how do you take that? It's like they had a whole series. They had a whole series of those, And I was thinking, first of all, it was a little ambitious to even suggest watch this video and you'll have buns of steel. Didn't we have like a progression for beginners, like buns of aluminum? Buns of zinc. Finally, move on up. I was so glad. They came out with a whole line of they had arms of steel, abs of steel, shoulders, all these things. And I thought, if I did that whole series, I'd never get to another airport in my life.
Well, yeah, steel.
Up to the metal detector set and everything. Oh, it's my buns, officer. They're steel. So,
my sister-in-law got them for me.
Yeah. That was a weird gift. Oh,
that is
funny
weird.
Things though. Those are the things you remember. Every time you get you that nice shirt, you're like, yeah, fine, and thank you. You don't remember.
Let's see what do we got here. A bunch of steel. How could I forget? My friends and I walked around testing that. What do you do? How do you test that? Asking people if they would like to have buns of steel like ours. Random people. And the funny part, I'm in a wheelchair, so they can't see my buns.
Oh, I like that person.
That's classic. Classic, Ted.
Good stuff, man.
Oh. So, what are you all done then for your Christmas shopping?
There are things to arrive, and of course, the wrapping isn't done because thank God for gift bags. I love gift bags.
Yeah.
Because every time I try to wrap a gift, if I leave it out someplace, they call a bomb squad because it just is so poorly. It's horrible. But now with bags, you just get a little bit of tissue and you're like, oh, look what I got for you. Susanna, my wife, Susanna, she worked at Hallmark when she was in college. And so I mean, hers are this geometric perfection, and she
Oh
puts
yeah.
extra things on top. They're a real presentation, you know.
Mm.
But not me, man. I've
You cover
mine.
it up. As long as you cover it up, it's good.
Yeah, right. Now we do have a few gift giving rules that I have set in our house, you know, because at one time we had 4 cats and 2 dogs, you know, and we don't have a huge house, you know, background notwithstanding.
Right.
And that was a lot. And that was when I instituted the NTP gift giving rule, which was nothing that poops.
Nothing but what?
Nothing that poops. All right. No more.
NTP. I love it.
The nothing that poops rule. Right. Also known as the NTS rule, but I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah, it's a PG show.
Yeah. It's known by either one. Whatever works for you. Yeah. Yeah. It's like anybody gives me a gift, it's like there better not be air holes in it. Okay. I get worried.
Right. You should be.
We're all ready, I guess. You know, it's
good.
You know.
Good. And so what's on your list?
To get for myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really have a list. I didn't have a list.
Really?
I honestly have gotten to the place where everything that I get is going to require me to get rid of something, right? You know, okay, I'll be very, total disclosure here. We all have our little hangups, and I have collected enough stuff over. My wife and I, we've been married for 34 years, right? This year, we're 33 years, but 34 in our next anniversary. And we've lived in the same house all that time. With the first house we bought, we never moved, right? So it has become a repository. We've got a large garage, a large basement, and a full attic. And when I say full attic, it's because it's full.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just, you just collect stuff, right? Sure. I mean, I'm watching Hoarders, and there are times that I'm looking at it like, that doesn't look that bad.
You might have a problem then.
Yeah. Of course, I've always wondered, why don't they just put the pickers and the Hoarders together in one show? Solve your own problem, right?
That's a great idea.
The solution is right. It's the next. These 2 guys are going to come in and pick it all out. It's great, right? When I run everything, I'm going to fix it. So.
Good thinking. Yeah. So we have a small house too, but we don't have an attic. We have a crawl space, but yeah, it's full.
Oh yeah, you do. Listen, the worst thing in the world is a lot of room to store stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Because you will fill it up. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's not a good thing, because you're forced. You got to go like, well, I got to make a decision. Right. So. Yeah.
Well, what's amazing to me is the people that not only have their home and they have a good sized home, but then they've gone out and they've put their stuff in a storage facility.
Yes.
So they're not only they storing extra stuff, but they're paying for it.
Yeah, they're paying to keep stuff that they're not. I mean, but definition, you're putting in a storage. You're not using it, right?
No.
Right. Which is where have you ever gotten exercise equipment as a gift? Is that ever on your wish list?
No.
No? Oh, okay. All right. Because I tell you what, New Year's resolution, we know it's coming. Everybody's going to like, well, I need to get in shape. I overdid it over the holidays. And so, and it's a from Halloween all the way through, then, Thanksgiving and selfingly Christmas and New Year's. And it's just finally that little cascade of special occasions finally gets us to self-loathing and disgust that we go like, New Year's resolution time. I am done with this. Right. And so I remember one year I asked for, we decided we were going to get a treadmill. That was our New Year's resolution. And, because I figured I can walk, right? And right. And I'm thinking, and I don't know what even the thinking is. It's like walking is something I can do, and it's going to be so much more beneficial if it costs me $800 and I don't end up anywhere, right? So the treadmill. I once went with a friend of mine, took me to his gym. He was working in a company that had a gym on the top floor of the office building where he worked. And he says, come with me. So I went down to the gym with him, and we actually, parked the car, got in an elevator, rode to the top floor to get into his athletic club up there. And all of that so we could get on a device that simulated climbing stairs.
Now, what sense does that make?
And we just accept. It's like, so we got the treadmill. And I got to be honest with you. Dragging it home was the most exercise I ever got out of it, right? I got it down to the basement. I unwrapped the thing, took the box off it, and didn't bother to read the instructions, because I'm a man, right? Put it all together. Only had a couple of parts left over. I was pretty proud of myself. And I called my wife down and I said, look, I got it together. And she said, does it work? She wasn't ready to be impressed just yet.
Now the questions.
I'm insulted. And I got on it and I do a little demonstration and I hit the on switch. And that's when I learned about the speed control dial, right? I just hit a button, vanished. I was gone.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, I got cans of corn, did more miles on the conveyor belt at Kroger than I did on that treadmill. So, you know how they ought to really advertise when they show you, and I was like, here's an exercise. They ought to show you the secondary use that it will eventually, for most people, perform, right? You want this exercise bike, this is a terrific exercise bike. And look how nice a sweater hangs on those handlebars to dry, because that's what you're going to be using it for primarily.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's hilarious. You've got, how did you say that? You've got cans of corn that have done more miles on the
checkout conveyor belt at Kroger.
The checkout conveyor belt. Well, that's hilarious. Wow. So, what else? What else is going on? You busy getting ready? Are you do anything for New Year's?
At New Year's, I've never been a big fan of New Year's. I can't understand what we're all so excited about. It's like, oh, it's the new year. It's the new year. I'm like, did you see the last one? Because
really not that great.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just thinking, I was like, is it safe yet? I don't know. I just that one's never been a real favorite of mine, But I do like the idea that, as we talk about, to kind of bring it back around to where we started, which is, the choices that we make and bringing joy to our lives and to our work, in spite of, and I think, when we talk about joy at this time of the year, it is important to understand that joy and happiness, we use them interchangeably, and I think that's fine, except I think the way most of us understand the difference between joy and happiness might be a good thing to contemplate at this time of the year. And that is, happiness, we always think of as just a sense of well-being, right? It's just a sense of how we feel in the moment, kind of transient, right? But joy is something that's a little more durable, right? Joy is what you do even though we're going through all the things we're going through, that we somehow keep our spirit of hopefulness and compassion and kindness to others. This is something that endures in spite of, not because of, right? And so, I hear sometimes people who are pessimistic, and they'll say, this kind of Pollyanna attitude of being happy all the time and positive mental attitude, you're just denying reality. And I think it's important, especially at this time when we talk so much about joy, to just make a declaration for those of us who say, we're going to keep our joy, this Christmas joy, this holiday joy. We're going to keep it because it's not a denial of reality. It's a defiance of reality. You agree with that?
I absolutely 100% agree with that. It's not fake. No. So if you go back to those three things that you mentioned, faith, something to care about, and something to look forward to. I mean, those three things are great components of joy in everything we do. So I think it's very important for us all to come to grips with, the fact that we all have joy in us. We just have to let it out.
It's the potential is there.
Yeah. Well, I'm so thankful you joined us here again today, Dave. I mean, it's been great to have you on. I'm looking forward to having you on again next week. So,
yeah, I think I'll redo the place. So,
hey, you know what? If you got time, go for it.
I'm heading over to Home Depot, going to pick up a few cans of paint, maybe, some wainscoting, I'm thinking.
Well, hey, we'll see what it looks like then. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Brian, and to Connie, and to your whole family.
All right. Same for you. And I will see you. We will all see you next Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Stick around in the green room. I'll be back there for some M&Ms.
Okay.
All right. Wow. What a great show. Dave Caperton he brings it, and we talk about joy and how those three components of joy are so important, with faith, something to care about, and then something to look forward to. Those three components are huge for us all to understand. What do you have? What do you have in your life that you're faithful to? What do you have that you care about? And what do you have that you look forward to? What do you have that you look forward to? So think about those three things. Put them in the comments if you want. Just to let me know what's going on with you. I'd love to hear about it. We've got a great show coming up tomorrow. It's going to be me. So come back here again tomorrow at the same time. And then we'll have Dave on a couple of times next week. We're also going to have a gentleman by the name of Dave Sienna. I lost his name right now. And he's also known as Rev, and he is the pizza guy. So going to have him on as well. So it's going to be a great show next week. Great lineup next week. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to having you all back here with me. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. But I see somebody has a comment. Let's see. See you soon, everyone. Merry Christmas. Take this time for those around you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Ted. And let's see. Yes, he is a great co-host. So he does a great job. So awesome. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your time. But as always, remember just to keep one eye on the road.